We have to stop being tribalistic and start being objective.
Double H. Double H. Double H. Double H. Double H. Double H.
So, interesting. You know, it's been very interesting looking at the reaction and the comments on the Hazard, Verratti, Better Footballers, Cristiano video. But I thought I wanted just to do a follow-up to really clarify things. So people say that I do this for views. I mean, I love that viewpoint. I do this for views. If I did this for views or to try to be controversial, why would I call Cristiano the greatest goal scorer of all time? Based on his goal scoring prowess for Man United, for Real Madrid, now for Juventus and for Portugal as well. He's a superb goal scorer, one of the best goal scorers we've ever seen. And I would put him as a better goal scorer than Messi because I don't look at just pure goals. I look at when you've scored those goals, your repertoire of goals, the different systems you've been able to score those goals in, the different conditions you've been able to score those goals in. And I think that's hence why for me, Cristiano is the better goal scorer than Messi. So if I'm going to give him the best goal scorer, I mean, what's negating that? And another thing that I saw was his performances for Man United. At Man United, he was superb. He was truly, truly amazing. And I take nothing away from that. And but my whole argument was that we didn't see that for the best part of his career. The majority of his career wasn't what he did at United. At United, my gosh, he was probably one of the craziest, most dynamic wingers we've ever seen. I.e., you know, his skills, his crossing, his assisting, his free kicks, his goal scoring, how good he was on the counter-attack. We've never seen a winger like that who was that dangerous. He was one of the most dangerous weapons we'd ever seen. But we didn't see that for the majority of his career. I give him credit for changing his game, altering his game to try and be much more of a goal scorer. But the key thing is this. We have to stop being tribalistic and start being objective. JJ Okocha, I hold that guy very dear to me. I still believe he's one of the most talented football players of all time. He flopped for Nigeria several times. At World Cups, Nations Cup, he flopped. Ronaldo, again, for me, the most gifted footballer I've ever seen. Like as in live, living around the times that he was playing. Before his knee injury, there's never been a player like Ronaldo before. He never won a Champions League. He never really reached the heights I felt that he should have at club-wise. So he flopped there because he could have achieved more at club-wise. So we have to try and be objective here. And I think the issue that I see here is when you're a fan of someone and you idolize someone, you see no flaws and you feel that you have a duty to protect them at all costs. That's brainless. That is stupidity at its highest level. If you cannot be objective and say, I love this guy, I even idolize this guy, and this guy has flops here and there. Told you, Ronaldo, this is Ronaldo, my guy that I idolize, my idol. You turned up flipping overweight at the 2006 World Cup, and I put money on you, and you turned up flipping overweight, and you were useless at that World Cup. Hence why you lost me money when I put money on you. You know, nobody's perfect. As great and as amazing as Messi is, you're a flipping flop for Argentina. You're a flop for Argentina. So your idol can't be flawless. That makes no sense. But the key thing here is we have to try and be objective because people are not really listening by what I'm saying because people don't really view the whole vid. I said Hazard and Verratti are better footballers than Cristiano. But Cristiano is a better goal scorer than the both of them. I'll even go one step further. Cristiano is much more of a difference maker than both Hazard and Verratti. You can be a better footballer, doesn't make you a better difference maker. all because you're a better difference maker, all because you're a better goal scorer, all because you're much more effective in winning a game, doesn't make you a better footballer. So you have to understand and listen to the terms that I am using here. A guy who is effective, who can change the game for me or win the game for me, doesn't make him a great footballer. Gerd Muller, great goal scorer. He wasn't an amazing football player, but he was a great goal scorer. Flipping Miroslav Klose, one of the great goal scorers the World Cup has ever seen. The leading goal scorer in World Cup history. He was an amazing goal scorer, especially for the World Cup, an amazing goal scorer. I wouldn't call him an amazing football player, because somebody who's an amazing at football is your adeptness and your technical ability with the ball at your feet. And I never said that Hazard, and I said that you can have an argument comparing peak Hazard and Verratti now to Cristiano at United. You can have the argument, but maybe Cristiano at United would win out there. But if we're talking about the majority of his career is Real Madrid and now Juventus. That's the majority of his career. And for the majority of that, he's a different player. So I think people feel and are very swayed by the media, because the media keeps feeding us that Cristiano and Messi are the two greatest players of all time. They keep feeding us that. And that has been this narrative. Cristiano or Messi, these two greats, these two amazing things. And all I ask for you is to take a step back and be objective. Don't be led and fed by the media. Don't be led and fed by the media. Because football is complex and you have to break things down. But again, I go to my original points of how you define Cristiano's career. Because again, people say, how do you ignore what he did at Man United? I'm not ignoring it. But when you look at someone's career, you look at what they've done for the majority of their career. You can't say, nah, I'm judging him for what he did for that period, but I am ignoring what he did for most of his career. When you look at someone's career, you have to take more into account what they did for most of their career, most of the time. And for most of the time, he developed into, in my view, the deadliest goal scorer that the game has ever seen. So that makes him a great goal scorer. Being an amazing goal scorer doesn't make you an amazing footballer. You have to understand that. Yes, football has many different aspects and so forth, but when we're breaking it down to the rawest terms, when we say someone is amazing at football, it is how good they are with the ball at their feet, what they can do with the ball at their feet. But then, because football is complex, we now break it down into different levels. Okay, the central midfielder, the DM, the centre back, the right back, the left back, the striker, the number 10. And within those different positions, you now have different roles. They're all parts of football, but when we talk about someone as a footballer, it's the raw ability terms as a boom. Give him the ball at his feet, what can he do? But then beyond that, you then break that raw ability into different roles. A great footballer doesn't make an effective player. If I'm building a team, I don't want my team to be full of just amazing footballers. No, I'll lose the game. I want to have a few very good gifted footballers, but I need great role players. So maybe I'll have my great footballer as a striker or as a central midfielder, but I need a guy who just knows how to defend. I need a guy who just knows how to defend. When all you know how to do is to defend. I need a guy in my midfield who just knows how to intercept and tackle. I don't care about how good you are at football. McLeary was not an amazing football player. He wasn't. He was a superb, perhaps one of the greatest DMs we've ever seen, because he had an amazing reading of the game. So. And as far as a striker, maybe if I'm playing a striker, I'll play two strikers. Maybe my supporting striker or my number 10, I want it to be really good at football. But my main striker, I just want you to be an amazing goal scorer. Your positioning, your off the ball running, your anticipation, and your finishing. I want you just to be a goal scorer. But you being an amazing goal scorer doesn't make you an amazing footballer, where you can receive the ball, you've got amazing ball control, amazing balance on the ball, you can dribble, you can get past the man, and you show a high depth quality with the ball at your feet. For my goal scorer, you don't have to be an amazing football player, because you're at the right place at the right time where you can just easily finish. So you don't really have to spend that much time with the ball at your feet. So, but I think where people grow missing is when I say Hazard and Verratti are better footballers, I'm somehow demeaning and insulting Cristiano. But that's reactionary because you're not really listening to the argument that I am making. Because I am not making an argument to sort of insult Cristiano because, I want to get reactionary views. I'm too old. I mean, if I was in my 20s, then man, let me try and, get into stuff. Rather, if I was in my teens, I'd maybe do that. I'm in my 30s. Okay, I'm in my 30s now. And what I'm learning right now, especially with this YouTube platform, just in life as a whole, is like, you know what? This is a great way of just being honest and really just talking and speaking my truth. And speaking my truth has got people hating me, abusing me, and everything like that. But I think in life, you have to be true to yourselves. Because if I was to lie and just make vids calling Cristiano great, Messi great, they're the goats of all time, and just having videos showing their goats, when I actually don't believe that, the lie will catch up with me. So I'll get all the views, all the accolades and everything, but I'll sit down to myself and say, but I don't believe that. I don't believe they're the greatest of all time. Even if I'm getting all these views and all the accolades because that's what people want to hear, I don't believe that. So even if me telling the truth is going to get dislikes, people hating me, people even all racist abuse me, I'm like, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm stupid. Maybe I need to play the game. But in my view, I'm like, you know what? This is life. And I believe that in life, be true to yourselves. Say how you truly feel and try and illustrate your points in the best way possible. But speak the truth. And I think what I found is that my truth is always very different from what society says. My truth is never the norm. And that's how I've been ever since I was growing up. It's why I've been so different. I've never really fitted into the main group. I've just always been a wolf. I've never been a sheep. I've always been a wolf. And I've always just been an individual because my brain is just wired differently. I view things differently. But just what I ask people and I implore of people, again, maybe you'll ignore me and dislike this, but I don't really care because I'll always speak the I mean, you have to understand who Half Hope is. I really don't give a care about pleasing people. I really don't. I told you, I mean, I don't care. All I care about is telling the flipping truth. I could really give a damn. But what I implore of people is think. You can't spend your life idolizing someone who really doesn't give a damn about you. They just care about your sponsorship money and you buying their merchandise and you clicking on them because that just increases their clout. They don't really care about you. Value yourself more than your idol. You should hold yourself at a higher standard than your idol. So you can't spend your life caping for your idol, saying how amazing your idol is, and fighting their battles and insulting anybody who says anything bad about them. Have a higher view on yourself. So take a step back and say, you know what? Forget the media. Forget me caping for this idol guy, whether I like him or not. Let me think for myself because I'm something. I do mean something. And I think this is maybe a society thing where we have too many sheep in the world. We have too many people who live and die by their idols. All they do is, like their vids, look at their family, say how amazing they are, make vids of how amazing they are. Whereas no, what about you? What about yourself? What about thinking about yourself? What about keeping for yourself? What about your own self-esteem? So, but what I ask of people is be objective. Be objective. Okay? Nobody is perfect. Nobody is flawless. No player is flawless. And when you think about the arguments and you break down at its very core what being a good footballer is and what being a good role player is, you will understand that what I'm saying makes sense. But you just forcing yourself to believe that it's an insult towards Cristiano is where you fail to really understand what I am saying. So again, I beg of people to understand what I'm saying. Okay? Cristiano is a great goal scorer. He's a great difference maker. He's had an amazing, outstanding career where he's been playing at a very high level. That doesn't make him an amazing football player, because his technical ability on the ball for the best part of a 90-minute game is not on the same standard as an Eden Hazard or a Marco Verratti. Although a Cristiano is a better difference maker than a Verratti and a Hazard, and a Cristiano is the kind of player who I'd always have in my team. And even just to leave this, because I think it's a point that someone made on the comment, and it's very true. So people say, goals win games. Cristiano wins goal and scores those goals. So that's it. 99%, about 1%, if that, of goals scored by most players in the world are all by themselves. Most people's goals come from a pass, a counter-attack, or the team helping to facilitate those goals. So if Cristiano was left by himself against 10 men, he does not score a single goal. So I think that's a very narrow-minded view of like, hey man, he scores those goals, nobody scores those goals. No. The midfielder is important, the winger is important, the defender is important. So again, guys, keep an open mind.